What's going on, everybody? This is Super Mike 2164. Go ahead and share the stream, share the message. We're going to open up the lines today. And we're going to talk about a variety of things. It's just going to be about an hour, maybe two. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah.
Visitors arrived at 50.
Yeah, so, we got a lot of stuff going on in this world. And we'll talk about a variety of things. But right now, just chill out for a second. All right, y'all. This is Super Mike 2164. I just came in. This is V. I don't know if y'all remember this story. Way back from the 80s. It was about aliens coming in to steal the human resources. But they were tricky people.
Or else they haven't learned a thing.
And the resistance movement has begun with the theft of equipment for a biochemical lab, spearheaded by med student Juliet Parrish and Dr. Ben Taylor, who is mortally wounded.
Oh my God!
For victory, you understand? Go tell your friends.
And now, the conclusion of V.
So that was V, guys. So today we're going to try to talk about what's going on. Press the thumbs up button. Press the thumbs up. go ahead and press that thumbs up button. Share the message on your social media, wherever you got going on. And I just thought I'd talk about some variety of topics today. We got, Joe Biden proudly getting on TV, because he killed people overseas, some foreigner he killed. Nobody knows. Is that making us safer here? I mean, you guys feel safer because Ibrahim, whatever this dude's name, is dead. I don't know who it is, but this guy, Joe Biden killed this guy. And for some reason, I guess they think that makes us feel safer. They came out with a new AIDS. So we got a new AIDS out, a new AIDS variant. Okay, we can talk about that. Let's check this out too. Let's look at this here. Hold on one second here. I'm going to drop this link. Whoopi Goldberg got whooped for speaking her mind. And we got the Ethiopian people. I had a conversation with the Ethiopians and a couple other people because during Twitter, the African and African American thing has been trending. And so, we'll share some of the conversations we had on that front. But let's look at this here. Let me share this here. All right. This is crazy. Hold on, actually. What? I'm looking at the wrong one. Oh, my goodness. Let's look at this. Is this it? No. That's not it. Dude. This dude. It's the wrong one. All right, so they're comparing this guy. Now let's look at this here. This dude is not doing a good job.
Meaning they suggest they're not interested in talks and they're going to go ahead with some kind of what action are you talking about?
One, the actions I've just pointed to. The fact that Russia continues to engage in disinformation campaigns.
You made an allegation that they might do that. Have they actually done it?
What we know, Matt, is what I have just said, that they have engaged in this activity. In this planning activity, but let me because obviously this is not the first time we've made these reports public. You'll remember that just a few weeks ago.
I'm sorry, made what report public?
If you let me finish, I will tell you what report we made public. We told you a few weeks ago that we have information indicating Russia also has already prepositioned a group of operatives to conduct a false flag operation in eastern Ukraine. So that, Matt, to your question, is an action that Russia has already taken.
It's an action that you say that they have taken, but you have shown no evidence to confirm that. And I'm going to get to the next question here, which is, what is the evidence that they? I mean, this is like crisis actors, really. This is like Alex Jones territory you're getting into. What evidence do you have to support the idea that there is some propaganda film in the?
He's sweating bullets. Look at him.
Now, this is derived from information known to the U.S. government, intelligence information that we have declassified.
Somebody asking this guy some tough questions now. Back in the day, when somebody sent the White House up there, what's going on? What's going on, James? Yeah. Back in the day, Colin Powell and George W got up there and told everybody, time to go to war, guys. We gotta. They say they hate us overseas. They got weapons of mass destruction. They're gonna get us. Everybody got scared. That was it. And the bombs flew. Today looks like people asking They're doing a little bit more scrutiny here. So let me check some more of this out. This is crazy. He's sweating.
I think you know.
Okay, well, where is it? Where is this information?
It is intelligence information that we have declassified.
Well, where is it? Where's the declassified information?
I just delivered it.
No, you made a series of allegations and statements.
Would you like us to print out the topper? Because you will see a transcript of this briefing that you can print out for yourself.
That's not evidence, Ned. That's you saying it. That's not evidence. I'm sorry.
What would you like, Matt?
I would like to see some proof that you can show that
Matt, you have been
that shows that the Russians are doing this. Ned, I've been doing this for a long time.
I know, that was my point.
You
You have been doing this for quite a while. You know that when we declassify intelligence information,
right. And I
we do so in a means we do.
Oh my goodness, they got this dude. This is crazy. But you know, the thing is, this is war. You know, you have to talk up war first. Scare the people. You know, the old playbook, right? We need to use those bombs. We need to use those bombs. I just told you the evidence. I just told it to you. It's just been declassified. It's time for us to go kill people, extra people. We need more bombs. You know, so the thing is, they're trying to get ready to go to war with Russia. They're coming up with this thing with Ukraine. I guess somebody cooked up a angle that they can use to work this here. You know, you already got a pandemic going on. And, you know, there's a lot of things going on. If you guys, like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on. Meanwhile, what else is happening? I think we had, didn't they kill another so-called, they killed somebody, and like they're very proud that they killed some dude. I guess they call him a terrorist. What is this guy's name? Oh, see, there you go. That's all we need. So people showing you this is reminding us of something. We're getting whiffs of old school talks. Meanwhile, on the pandemic front, we got a brand new AIDS virus, guys. A new highly variant HIV variant was just discovered in Europe. A a variant of AIDS, the virus that causes AIDS, has been uncovered in the Netherlands. And it appears to cause faster disease progression compared to the other versions of AIDS of the virus. Wow. So, you know, you got the human immunodeficiency virus. It destroys immune cells called CD4 cells in the body, causing a number of these cells to plummet. And it makes you susceptible to getting killed and destroyed by a brand new, good old-fashioned virus, a new AIDS. So we got a brand new AIDS out in the world. You know, that's what's going on here. I mean, we're just, you know, updating us on the news, talking about the regular, you know, humdy-hum stuff going on. At the same time, we have Black America. Black America is deciding that we're not going to support politicians that want to keep up immigration. So there's a lot of Black Americans deciding that we're no longer going to support these type of immigration policies. And most of this is coming from the Democrats, which is heavily dependent on the Black American vote. And so that's going on. We have this issue here. Let me play. I'll actually, you know what? I'll do this here. I'm gonna play something from. Hold on. Let me see. I don't know if I can even show. Well, I think it's here. Yeah, here's a. Yeah, I recorded this. The sound quality is not that good on it because what happened is we were watching the television and I did not know that that was being recorded onto this at the same time. But there's a couple parts that you can hear good, and it's just Twitter has this thing called Twitter Spaces. So and in this one here. I guess just some immigrants who actually live and work inside the United States. Most of them did, or even visited the United States or did school in the United States. These people decided to take it upon themselves because they were offended by some Black Americans, and they decided to come up there and spread their frustration.
You know what I'm saying? I understand. But don't come here and interrupt people that speak. You know what I'm saying? Yes, you may in a sense get away with a white man who sympathizes with you, but not me. Not me, brother. Now back to our stage. There is, to everyone on this stage that would like to go Google, there's something called Prosper Africa. Google it. It's called Prosper Africa. And it basically.
That's not the one. That's not the part.
Please. Yeah, and let me tell you something about. Oh my gosh, we're tired of you. I Negro in
Maria, can you help me out?
I don't know if y'all can hear this.
Okay. So I'll sister with Bila Busybody. She has a lot to say, so we let her talk, and after her, we can pass the mic to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys can really hear. I didn't know I was being recorded. We was on a hot mic.
Bila Busy, speak. The floor is yours.
Thank you for meeting me. So I just want to say first, I'm Canadian born to two Ghanaians. Before I address, I want to redirect the conversation. Before I address it, somebody had said something about to Lily, who would also like to be Lily, that she was not Ghanaian, she was Ashanti. I understand that a lot of Ghanaians are African nations through the tribal, but I wanted to advise that Ghanaian, Ashanti, Asante, Akan, and everything. We're Ghanaian first and foremost, and that's imperative for Ghana moving forward. Secondly, I wanted to discuss among a bunch of the Africans, time for us to change the narrative, that in Black America and Canada, we pay 65 billion in taxes. We have the spending power of 98 billion. What are we as Africans going to do to advance ourselves in the Americas? Because we're not going anywhere. A Black American is not going to tell me after my mother worked as a single mother to make a way in Canada that now we have to leave because they want us to go anywhere. So let's advise that we're not going anywhere. So I'd like us to redirect the conversation. What is we as Africans in the Americas going to do with 98 billion in spending power that we have? We can change the whole directive for Africans in the Americas if we discuss that. That's most importantly. Secondly, I wanted to say I heard some rhetoric about the white man and then the Black Americans. I can admit, like a bunch of Africans can admit, that the first person to ever bully me was a Black Canadian. It was never the white man. But I will never say that I hate Black American before I hate the white man. To say that as an African means you're not aware of their history. You're not aware of what they're doing in Africa till this day. We celebrate Mali and the French coming out, but Russia is waiting to take over. So the white man will
These
never
are
be my
Africans
friend before
talking
Black
about
Americans.
their feelings towards Black Americans.
Next, I want to say that
Black
Tyree.
American and a white man are the same.
So-
That's how we consider the foreigners.
Yeah, I respect that opinion, but I think whites are a lot worse. But next, I want to say that Tyree is an
Please
important-
refer to them as Caucasian, not white. Thank you.
Okay, Caucasian. Thank you, Maria. I want to say next that I think Tariq is an FBI informant. What Black Americans continue to talk about immigrants taking their job. Why haven't you guys discussed the fact that Black Lives Matter has 80 million sitting there and they haven't put it back into your own community? Those are your own people that look just like you are in the financial position to change your directive, but they're not choosing to do this. Why don't we talk about that last August 2021, Tariq did a fundraiser. He got 1.1 million, said he was going to open a museum for Black Americans. Where is it? So I just want to leave it with saying, before you get at the African for being proud and being African, I am wholeheartedly begging you to look at your own people, because money flows within the Black American community. However, you guys focusing on the African is taking away from the fact that you guys are being abused by your own people. And I
Stand-ups, the
So what's interesting is that, these people, they're coming over. Let me finish that. Actually, hold on a second here. I wanted her to finish that comment. I got cut off. I was trying to load a different video on. Yeah, make sure you guys press a thumbs up, share the message. If you want to come up, the link's down there. If you want to have a comment, this is an open show. It's an open show, so we'll be up. If nobody wants to come up, that's fine too, because we'll just share a couple of points and just go ahead and make a comment in the comment section. Make sure you press the thumbs up, share this to your social media. I appreciate you guys for even taking the time to listen to me. If you don't see the link, if you're on like Facebook or Twitter, just let me know. That way I can come over there and put the link over there. But you can come to Super Mike 2164 on YouTube as well. But hold on a second here. Let me finish that comment.
You told me that when you apply for a job, do they put white or do they put Latino? Because there's a
in Canada, we don't check off a box. That's discriminatory.
I know
That's an American thing. That's an American thing.
They do.
Yeah, we don't check off boxes in Canada. They're not even
but
allowed
I'm
to
saying
know
for
your
the
race.
American people, I have a question for you. The American people, they have choices. They don't have, the only choice they have is there's black or I'm African American.
I can answer this. I can answer this.
No, you can't because you're not African. But,
So in America, I think based on what I've read, in America, they do solely focus on race. So they do lump the Africans with the Caribbeans, with the descendants. Everybody gets lumped up into one spot.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so when
Because I live in America too.
You're a co-host.
Yo.
She's not answering my question.
Yeah, I noticed that, but it's gonna probably go back to the argument that we had earlier, and we should not be, having the same dialogue over and over again. Black and white are crayon colors; they don't exist. Human diversity is more rich. It's demeaning to refer to yourself as a color. It came to existence mainly to label people that have no culture. They don't know their ethnicity, they don't know where they came from. They were slaves that were kept for a long period of time in a certain part of the world who had no identity.
Yeah. This is kind of weird with this audio on, I had to keep doing weird stuff just to get the audio right. What's up, James? What's up, man?
Hello. There we go.
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello? hear me? All right, I guess he had to take a second. But you know, so I just want everybody to check this out too. Check this out. This is something. Okay, there it is. What's up, James? What's up, James? Can you hear me?
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, you can hear now, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let's go. What's going on, man?
Not much. Not much. Oh, all cool. Just yeah, it was funny that you were playing that that one clip of the, was it Ned Price?
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, but I mean, what do you expect from the U.S. government? It's
well,
you know,
yeah, you expect ignorance right now because right now, I guess they're doing bad, so they're trying to galvanize themselves together, maybe to win another election. Maybe they can gin up some war talk, get some patriotism going on.
yeah, it's there's
Maybe they could,
what's the new war they need to start now? I mean, we just pulled out of Afghanistan. You know, it's where to start now. Are we going to go to Taiwan, free them first? Are we going to go to the Ukraine, free them first? Why aren't we spending money in America? You know, it's you have all this money, and it's kind of like, well, now we have this military spending. How about you rebuild a bridge? No, let's go and
a bridge just collapsed too. Yeah.
Yeah. That Biden bridge, and you go into reports and it's like, okay, there's 43,000 bridges that are in poor condition, and it's kind of like, okay, but what are you waiting for? Oh, they fell apart. Okay, now we'll rebuild them. What are you waiting for? You know? So
people, I mean, and this is why everybody's saying there's got to be an agenda, because it really makes no sense why they just intentionally, you know, allow these things to just get devastated.
Yeah. And it's, the thing is, though, with the U.S., and we all know this, though, is the main, what does the U.S. sell? I mean, it sells weapons technology and defense system and offensive systems and basically war. I mean, that's what you're specialized in. I mean, everybody has a gun in the U.S., and that's completely normal. And you also need it, obviously, because the government, you know, and but that's the thing. They're fear-mongering you to buy weapons, and then they're fear-mongering other countries to buy weapons, and, you know, buy it from us because we have the best ones. And it's, you know, it seems to be like a freedom for you, but it's also not, you know?
Well, you know, the thing is, it's not even really a freedom, but they promote it like that, and people are just going nuts. You know, people are sitting up here. I mean, they just showed a guy. I mean, there's videos all over the place. A guy sat up here and had a road rage incident and sat up there. And I guess because somebody, I don't know what they did.
Oh, I saw that. You mean yeah, he was like tailgating him, and he was sitting in his car, and he just kind of like relaxing, like as if it's completely normal, just shot through the side window and then through his windshield. Yeah. I mean, for what? For you honking at somebody?
And it was recorded. Well, what
Yeah,
right? You thought you were in the right. You know,
I mean,
so aliens are coming here to kill us because
that's not on us, though, is it? It's not on us. Well, if there's another thing, it's rotating.
Yeah, it's time for aliens to get rid of you now. Look at that. Here they are. See it?
Yep.
Echo 6-1 Tango. Roger, Roger. Hey, go ahead! Roger. They're shooting.
That's mainstream media. They're letting you know aliens are here. So
finally, I mean, you know, all these they have all this proof of everything. Like the Ned Price said, here we have proof of this, we have proof of that. And it's just like, wait, don't you have an area dedicated to aliens in Arizona called Area 51, where yeah, or New Mexico, wherever it is, where you literally threaten people with death if they even enter anywhere close? And it's kind of like, and you've had this for what, since 1960s?
yeah.
You know, nobody questions it. No one's ever been inside. No pictures of it exist.
Oh, it's
Does it
underground
even
stuff.
exist?
Yeah, you're not.
You know,
Definitely. So
what are you keeping there? I mean, they could be running Operation Epstein down there, and nobody would know. Literally,
I'm sure they have towns down there. They probably have, you know, baby, you know, synthetic wombs.
Yeah. That's probably where the internet came from too.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it could be anything, but the thing is, this
That's
is
all
what
the secret.
Yeah, the thing is, this is what's going on. They want to depopulate everybody, and people are wising up, and I guess something's getting crazy. I guess they're getting crazy. They're not educating people because I guess their plans aren't coming through. So now, you know, people aren't taking the you know, the Kool-Aid. Like, you know, I guess you know, Jim Jones thought he was being merciful.
There's too much open media there.
Easier.
You know, there's too much. They want free media, but then they want to promote only their propaganda. And then when other media comes out and they're just like, hey, but we're independent. We're not paid by the mainstream or by the governments. Then there's like, but you're not real. You're fake. And it's kind of sounding the same way as before. You know, all the propaganda that they used to have. Like weed's legal now, but it used to be a racist. The whole DEA, the whole funding of the DEA started with racism.
Do you know,
black
though,
people smoke weed. Black people do
but
this.
do you
White women
know
want, you know.
that they legalize weed, but they still have actually, like, especially like Colorado, they have increase in weed related arrest.
Yeah, it's weed is legal, but unlicensed weed illegal, unlicensed. You know, it's only legal if you have a license. So it's not.
That's stipulations.
They didn't give you your constitutional right to grow, and you know, it's not a right. It's legal if you obey the laws that they put in place to restrict you. To, you know, you can go into a dispensary, but you can't come out and smoke it.
And the thing is, though, they can enforce what they want because they have it confusing where in certain states it's legal on state law, but then they have these federal laws that they can use.
Yeah.
You know, so it's up to whatever they want to do.
It's legal to the border that you are in with your state. As soon as you cross a border, even if you're crossing from one legal state into another legal state, you're crossing a federal border. And then it goes from a local or a state problem to a federal problem. And now you've got federal agents after you because it's not legal federally. There is no physical border there. There's no crossing. You're trusted. But if you're caught doing it, it's literally a federal offense, even though it's legal in both states. So it's all this fine line, fine print. You know, it's kind of like, but you were resisting.
Yeah, that's the reason why this place. These people, you know, the thing is I mean, it's due to fall. So, you know, this is the reason why everybody's just coming to get. I guess like somebody told me that America is like a big Walmart. This guy from Africa, from Nigeria, he said America's like a big Walmart. You just come get what you get and you just leave.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's
just come steal the taxes, get everything, and you know, the people who are sitting here trying to actually, you know, they're still trying to make policy make sense. We can save it.
Well, there's a lot of policies that you're stuck in this little in American bubble, you know. It's kind of everybody in America thinks the world is a terrible place, and the only place that is free and has freedoms is America. So, but it's hard, you know. Everything that's in America is made globally. The least of the stuff is made in America. It's assembled in America, but you get your metal, all your resources from different countries, or you just invade the countries and take the resources that way. Look at Afghanistan. You left Afghanistan. You had 20 years to get those minerals, and now you're already saying, "Well, look at the Chinese. They're going in there, and look at them. They're going to steal all the resources." And I'm like, dude, you left. That's the thing, though. Let's talk business. You know, I can come on here and be a racist and a piece of shit and tell you how I blah blah blah, you know, or try to destroy your community, divide it, and you know, or let's talk business. So what do? I do blah blah blah. Okay, let's help each other, you know. So, and that's kind of like the sense of it. The U.S. only comes in when it can do business, and unfortunately its business is war, and then after that push in a Starbucks and push in the Walmart effect, push in the Walmart, you know, so that we've got Walmart there already, and you know the Walmart's everywhere, Amazon's everywhere, Starbucks everywhere, McDonald's everywhere, you know.
Yeah, they're, and then the metaverse, so this is what they're doing now. Yeah, they want everybody to get all this online and meta digital real estate, so that way they could just threaten to take your digital real estate, and you will submit physically because you know they'll ruin you with a press of a button.
It's the same thing with your Second Amendment rights. You have the rights to have guns and to protect your home and your property and your life. But then you have police officers and federal agents who are given guns, who are being told that, hey, be scared of these citizens. They're armed and they're ready to protect their homes because it's constitutionally protected. But they are allowed to come and take away everything that you are legally allowed to protect. So there is no winning.
They go over to other people's country. All they got to do is call them U.S. says Islamic State leader. What state? The ISIS you talking about? Where state are they in? It says Islamic State leader was killed in Syria. So they can just go to Syria, kill a bunch of people, and say one of them, they were a jihadist group.
They didn't kill him.
So we left from our country. Yeah, we left from our country, went over to someone else's country.
Oh, there
decided
it is.
They needed to die, and we're proud of that. We put it right on TV.
Yeah. But that's the thing. If anybody, the same thing with the U.S. American citizens are worth more. When you send a G.I. Joe to some foreign country and he gets killed, there's going to be 10 G.I. Joes coming after him to revenge him, get his body, return his body to America. No one left behind, you know. And and they'll kill a whole town for it. Doesn't matter. We need to save this American's life.
But yeah, you know, they hate us. Well, of course, you just killed all their kids and their father, and you just made up a reason nobody knows. And you're stupid on TV trying to explain things, and then you're talking about we need to go to Russia. And even the citizens, if they really, you don't care about what your own citizens say.
Yeah. or what you're doing to your own citizens. We just have to look at police brutality, and yes, they're not all of them are bad apples, but I mean, only 10% of them are bad apples, you know, that's enough. It's they're out to protect themselves and not the citizens of the U.S. You basically have the same shit going on in the U.S. with the police and the police brutality, excuse me, as you do have with the U.S. military or the U.S. government sending the military abroad. You know, they also invade houses and, you know.
Wow, the same thing, huh?
Basically the same thing, yeah. They're just telling you in America that, well, the police have the right, and in the rest of the world, you're just like, well, we're here for our allies, you know?
It's crazy. Yeah, but I mean, this is what's going on. And the thing is, people think that they can just, it's actually it's actually increasing. And if people don't know that it's time to make some decisions, some good decisions, because it's a lot of little decisions coming up that people need to make. And they don't make them right, you know, you might ruin yourself or be found in the wrong situation.
America is fighting itself. I mean, you're fighting communism and socialism, and then you don't want other countries to have capitalism or profit from what they do. You know, but you have the whole thing in America. You have socialism in your family.
It's legitimizing thievery, because that's really what it really is. And a lot of times people think just going into business, you know, just doing fair, free market, that's capitalism, but it's not. You know, capitalism is you know, is basically turning people into robots. Human beings are just commodities, and they get to work. We get to use what they made. They don't really get the benefit of what their labor, most of it. Yeah. And that's the thing. This is the thing that a lot of folks don't really see, but you know, because we're told one thing, and you know, but it's not really that. And that's why I had this movie playing out at first. I don't know.
It was the greatest event mankind had ever witnessed. The aliens arrived in 50 gigantic motherships. Unbelievable. Positioned around the world's key.
Yeah, you remember that show?
Yeah, this is Visitors, the original. Yeah.
And we just seen the U.S. said they were here. Maybe this is V that we're dealing with.
Maybe they're already integrated.
These people are V's.
Look, yeah, dude, this was a great show, man.
Look, this is probably V, because back there in Area 51, maybe they had.
It was one of millions held in special chambers to be used as food.
What?
They
probably have a lot of underground chambers.
Dude, how is this all fantasy? You know?
See, they're telling you what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it's literally, let's make a movie out of this army base.
Yeah, V.
Yeah, dude, this was a great TV show, I thought.
And guess what they were doing? They were attacking all the scientists. I think they had one where they were this guy. Yeah, he's a V, and yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, they're all eating mice, and they'd pull off their skin and their lizards underneath.
That's what it is. Yeah, you had to show the people, because the people would believe it at that time.
Good show, dude. I mean, when did I watch? Yeah, here he goes.
Oh my God, this is so funny. It was a good show.
I mean, how old was I? I was watching this when I was like 4 or 5, you know, so aliens have always been kind of, you know, it's like that mystery of space and stuff, you know, but it used to be like more of a like Star Wars when it originally came out before all the sci-fi stuff. It was really kind of a real fantasy thing, you know. Nowadays, it's kind of like, I wonder if this is a conspiracy, if this is true, you know.
And in return, we will gladly share with you all the fruits of our knowledge.
Talk about an offer we can't refuse, huh?
I wonder what would happen if we did.
Manufacturing plant.
Well, what's going to happen if you refuse their offer?
Well,
yeah, that's what they did. They set up there, and this is deep because they actually attacked the scientists.
A youth organization was formed, encouraging teenagers to join their ranks. The visitors were quickly assimilated into our culture.
I'm not very good at this.
Many close relationships developed between our people and theirs. But there were some who were skeptical, too inquisitive. They began to quickly disappear. And then...
The world was shocked today when Nobel Prize winner Dr. Maurice Jankowski of the Brussels Biomedical Institute in Belgium held a press conference to reveal the existence of an international conspiracy against the visitors.
Jankowski had unshakable proof that a conspiracy of scientists around the world was about to seize control of visitor ships for their own gain. A groundswell of resentment and prejudice quickly built against the world scientific community.
I can't work for you no more.
Because my husband is a scientist?
Yeah, I wrecked it up, said I was just a dirty little scientist kid. Another
Hey, you see, that's what they're doing on some of these scientists on COVID. Man, they have the playbook right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
It's funny though. I mean, no, forget it.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's funny to watch those old kind of shows, and they have those the same kind of sound effects, like from A-Team or something else, and you're just like, wee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Those shows, those old shows. But the thing is, I also watched some of those old shows. They literally projected their plans, I believe, and like I said, okay, you got to demonize those old scientists, the conspiracy theory angle.
Yep.
Anybody who's inquisitive, set up and be friendly, offer everybody something. But then
look at the Looney Tunes, or how the cartoon industry has completely changed. It used to be you'd have a duck and a roadrunner and a guy, and somebody was always shooting a gun or a shotgun at somebody, or the Little Rascals. I think those kids shows, they had guns and NRA symbols and all this stuff in the background. You don't have that nowadays. Everything's kind of like, oh, we've got boys and girls and mixed kids, and everything's colorful, and let's make sure we include every race and
every gender type. They keep inventing new genders.
Yeah. And it's I don't know. I think it's predominantly in the Western world that they do that, though.
Exactly, and that's why a lot of people, I think they kicked did they kick France, and was it France out of Mali? Mali got mad, kicked France out, I believe.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on, like how the reparations are going in America, reparations in Africa. A lot of the African countries are speaking. Namibia or Germany offered Namibia to pay reparations, and Namibia is like, what, reparations? Do you think that you're going to get off that easy? Fuck you. And the same thing happened with, I assume, with a lot of the French countries, or the French-speaking countries that used to be French colonies. There's quite a few countries in Africa that speak French. But yeah, same thing too. They're just like, no, you're not we're not your colony anymore. You can't just, or you can't just apologize and say sorry, or all these the museums in Europe where the African countries are just like, yeah, but we're not lending you or letting you borrow our artifacts. You came here, found them, took them,
stole them,
making money with them, And on one hand, I understand the history and the whole museum thing, but on the other hand, it's kind of like, yeah, but you're also not offering to give anything or offer anything back, or you know, promoted tourism there, or you know, it's so it's yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in with Africa now, and I think that it's going to start
Yeah, the world's
building
changing,
up.
and that's why I think that a lot of this stuff is going on too, because some of these powers, these like Western powers, you know, when the world changes, that's what I mean. Like this thing called capitalism, you know, you always have to have a class or a group to steal from.
Yeah.
And that's how it works in the Western nations. That's why there's certain groups that there's no deal making with certain groups. It
Yeah.
is, you know, it is basically a deception. You know, you go over there, you create some confusion there. You can maybe turn some tribes against each other. Then when they have problems, they're killing each other over what you started. Then you can come in there and say, "Hey, you know, we'll monitor your elections, or we'll solve this problem for you." And then both sides invite you over, and you never leave.
Yeah,
that's kind of like the V. That's how they do it. Yeah, go ahead.
That's the issue with Ukraine right now and with Russia, because there was a deal that Ukraine would never join NATO, and what the problem is now is with everybody moving all their troops into Ukraine, it only takes one Ukrainian or one state actor, one of those people that were sent there to keep the peace, to shoot in Russia. What's Russia supposed to do? Stand there and be like, okay, well, we can't fire back without, you know, provoking anything here now. So it's kind of
take over this
you
area.
know, yeah, if Russia would start building up troops at the border to Canada, and being like, okay, well, if you don't let the Canadian truckers, you know, drive through America and protest their freedom there, well, then you're leaving us no options. You know, it's kind of, so it's you know, it's like you want to partner, you want to have a free trade agreement with Mexico, but you want to build up a wall. You've annexed half of their country, but you're telling them they're telling the rest of the country of your country that the rest of their country are rapists and killers and blah. It's just like you stole half of their land.
Right.
You know, half of
Well,
Mexico was annexed.
That's part of your ruling when you're stealing, because see, you have to legitimize your stealing.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is nowadays it's not really working because the real system, it's people understand the system now. Just because people understand, they understand it for long enough now to spread the word, and now there's a large amount of people that understand the system, and they're resisting because, and that's what's bad. That's the reason why they have to, you know, attack this thing called critical race theory. This is another reason. This brings me to this here. This is why Whoopi got her behind smacked. Whoopi Goldberg had to apologize, seemingly doubles down on Holocaust comments. So did you know anything about this?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, so Whoopi Goldberg, I mean, like, I don't watch this here, and I don't even, but I was just talking to my grandmother, and she literally told me before this incident occurs, she would believe everything Whoopi Goldberg says. My grandmother told me that. She believes everything this woman says. If Whoopi Goldberg says take the vaccine, my grandmother's going to go out there and take the vaccine. I said, wow.
Well, some people have their idols, and you know, it's.
She loves Whoopi Goldberg. Here it is. So Whoopi Goldberg says, you know, and she literally changed her name to Goldberg because she's not a Jewish woman, but she loves the Jewish history so much. She loves the Jewish people so much. She changed her last name to Goldberg. a long time ago. And she just was in that community. So the thing is, she studied all of this stuff. And she said that Whoopi Goldberg says that I don't want a fake apologize. You can't call this racism. Goldberg said on the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, I think of race as being something that I can see. How can you say it's about race when you're fighting each other? So basically, she said that the Holocaust is not about race because she's talking about the Jewish massacre in that Holocaust in Germany. It was white on white. Two groups of different kinds of white people were having an issue, and that to me wasn't controversial. But I don't think they liked her saying it, so they suspended her from The View for 2 weeks. Which I don't know why they did that because what that does is they literally turned a simple comment that no one would be talking about right now. It literally was a quick comment. It was absolutely nothing. And they literally changed this into something that is actually something. And now I think that was the dumbest way for them to handle that. But yeah, I mean, they got this woman out because right now they're trying to censor this thing called critical race theory. They're trying to scare everybody over this thing, which is stupid. And you start looking at what I'm talking about. Yeah, have you?
I don't understand what critical race theory is.
It's
honestly, I mean, there's history to be taught, and there's history that's not to be taught. You know, what I'm not understanding is this: we have to teach our kids everything as soon as possible. Let's teach them everything in kindergarten. It's like, no, let's start with blue, yellow, green, red, shapes, numbers, you know, the easy stuff that they're supposed to learn. Maybe a couple languages in between, the stuff that they suck up quickly that will help them in life, you know, before you start depressing them, you know. And then you start confusing them about what they're supposed to think about that black kid or that white kid or his history or the last 200 years. And it's just like, guys, these are kids. Feed them with information that they can use before you feed them with all this stuff to be worried about, you know? And imagine your kid coming home and you're going to have to explain to him why your neighbor's not a white supremacist. You know, and it's kind of like, you're just like, why am I even having this discussion with my kid?
Right.
Like, get in there and watch Snoopy, you know? I mean,
the thing is, with this thing here, it's not even critical race theory is only taught in law school. It's not even really taught in college. So, but they named it this. They talked about, excuse me, they put it on critical race theory because, you know, it's a scary word and nobody understands it because nobody was ever taught that. And that's the issue. That's the reason why no one knew what that was, because no one was teaching that. It's something that just came up with to scare folks. And now they start, then they start kind of naming everything as critical race theory. So what ends up happening here is there's a book, I guess, for the Jewish folks that talks about the Holocaust, and it's like a kid's book called Mouse. You heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a kid's book, and it kind of, you know, showed that, gave a history and, you know, in a nice childlike way, right? Yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
I'm not sure it's a child's book, though.
Okay, it's not? Okay. Well, I mean, I haven't read it, so I don't know. But, you know, the only reason why I know all this stuff now, guess why? Is because Whoopi. See, that's what I mean. I don't even know all of it, but I just know about kind of what this is. And so, because they told her to go home for 2 weeks, and now everybody's looking into it. And so what's going on is because they didn't like that. I don't know what grade that is shown in, but whatever grade is shown in, I guess because people were stopping this critical race theory thing, they wanted to stop that as well. You see, so now they're catching heat from this, and it's really stupid because they're putting everything under critical race theory that they don't like, and that's the problem. Because critical race theory is something, and I just pulled this up just so you can hear it, because this is an attorney, a civil rights attorney. That stuff is only taught in college level for attorneys in law school. That's why nobody knows what the heck it is.
Yeah, I think mouse is not.
Well, I mean,
yeah,
as far as
18 and under.
Okay,
But,
but the critical race theory is taught. They say it's taught in college level. But let me see something if I can. Hold on a second here. I hate sharing all this different weird stuff because they got to come up with a better way to do this. All right, so this guy's an attorney. He's like a civil rights attorney or something like that. And I'm just trying to play this one part on here.
At the end of the Trump administration said the problem is President Trump wants black.
Yeah.
Every black man must fight.
Fair use.
But that they comment on the fact that the word slave doesn't appear.
Oh yeah, he got some good stuff here. Okay, so anyway, I mean the bottom line is, it's stupid. This is the problem. You can't. It's like this. Nobody's trying to overload kids with this stuff, but the problem is the reason why the world is in the issues it's in, the place it's in, is because they have been hiding information. They've been hiding information. And of course, that once the information gets out, people feel like the information is bad because it hurt their feelings, because it made them change what they thought was true. But it's really not that. There's a bunch of true information out there that won't hurt my feelings if I hear it, because it was never hidden. It only hurts your feelings because now you have to reassess what you believed. And everybody's still gonna be okay though. just start telling the truth and stop hiding stuff. There's a lot of people out here that know the history. We know. I mean, it's offensive when people have been told that Columbus discovered America. They were offending like a whole set of millions and millions of people just by saying it. But the people who weren't offended by it, they believed it, and they got the chance to believe that for I don't know how long they've been saying that, probably a couple hundred years, 400 years maybe, or whatever. And now the people who were offended by it for all that time are like, well, no, that's not true. They proved it's not true. So the kids aren't going to care about that. Just tell the truth.
Yeah, and I mean, this is history that's just being discovered. I mean, DNA processing, carbon dating, all these new ways of, or getting pictures from a satellite that's been going through space for 25 years. You didn't have these things 25 years ago. The information flow that you have everywhere. We used to have to go to the library, and it was only open for 2 hours,
Exactly.
on a on a Saturday, and if you're lucky, you found what you wanted. If you're lucky, you'd have there was no Google searching. You'd have to go find history books, and how much time?
What is it called? Excuse me. The Dewey Decimal System was Google.
Yeah. And I mean, how much time do you and I remember spending in the library? Maximum 8 hours in the total of our entire life. Maybe. Maybe
I
you
mean, I went to the
more.
library
I don't know.
fairly frequently, but not like you're right. I didn't go like every week.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 8 hours a day, maybe maximum 5 days at 8 hours, and that in your complete education time, So
Yeah.
in
Let me
college,
play
it
this
was kind
part
of
here.
like
Let me
to,
see what you think about this because we're almost about to be done. But I just want you. I just want to see.
Dolly Madison.
This is that guy. I just don't want a copyright strike, but I want him to hear this because the thing is, this guy, Jeffrey Robinson, he was like he's got a little movie coming out, and he's pretty smart. I like some of the stuff that he does. He, I don't know, not all the way, but my thing is people. They miss out on saving what they really like. This, I'll say it like this: this thing called America, it could have been saved. I don't think it's anything. I don't think. I think it's way past the point of no return now. I think the point of no return happened probably in when they went to that last Iraq war. I think that was it. But because they don't have any other game plans. So, but the point is, they could have saved this thing, but you got to do the right thing. Like the people that are in big power, they have to be reined in. If nobody can put them in their place, then of course they're going to just keep on eating and eating and eating until the place is just dried up and destroyed, and they'll just go to another country or buy a couple of islands, hire a private army, and wait for whatever else to happen.
they already have that.
Exactly. That's my exactly. So yeah, that's what I mean. You could have probably, I don't know, you might have had a chance to save it. I don't know, maybe 10, 20 years ago. It would have been very hard, but maybe you could have.
What, saved the U.S. or?
Yeah, you could have saved the U.S. because the thing is, but you have to actually get. It looks radical, the things that you would have to do, but it's actually doing the right thing. But it looks radical because we're so far down the tube. But
you can't save a country that is convinced that it's the one saving everyone else.
Yeah, the people are convinced, but actually, the thing is,
the government.
Even the government's not convinced. The average person, talk to them, they know.
Yeah,
it's like they compartmentalize people off good enough to where it's I know, I know, and I know, and they know we know, but who's going to make the first move? Let's just keep going along.
Exactly. Here comes the government. You shoot first. I'll have your back.
Look at Snowden. He's trying to make a move.
I mean, look, Snowden's not coming back to the U.S. Do you think he's ever going to come back here and be like, I trust you? No,
he's not. Look at this guy. He's trying to tell the truth. He's in the CIA. He's talking about the look at him arrested.
Yep.
So keep sitting here. Yeah, and, but the thing is, this information is old, so it's not going to do any really good too much. But like I said, the information was there to do the right thing for a while. I just want to play the part. Let me see here. Hold on.
And in the last administration, on the Monday before they left office, they put out something called the 1776 report about quote unquote patriotic education. And they say that they comment on the fact that the word slave doesn't appear in the Constitution until the 13th Amendment, outlawing it for everyone except those convicted of a crime. And that's because some would say that, and when you read letters and, slave is an ugly word. James Madison said, I didn't want slave used in the Constitution because I did not want that document to reflect the fact that there could be property in men. And they say, and then there was a compromise. Well, here's what James Madison had to say to Patrick Henry when Patrick Henry was worried about Black people becoming free. Madison did write those words about we shouldn't let the documents show that there could be property in men. But here's what he said was to Patrick Henry. I was struck with surprise when I heard Patrick Henry express himself alarmed with respect to the emancipation of slaves. There is no power to warrant it in that paper, the Constitution. If there be, I know it not. So he may not have wanted to admit in writing that there could be property in men, but he assured everyone else at the Constitutional Convention that there would be property in men. And then the Constitution itself made clear that there would be property in men. They didn't call those men and women slaves. They called them such persons.
I thought that was interesting. The way they came, yeah, go ahead.
Dude, the way that's the whole thing about wording. Did you hear when he said it's like they didn't want to have it documented that there was such a thing in America as ownership of man?
Right.
That's why they didn't put it into the Constitution, because otherwise we could have said now, but look in the Constitution.
Yeah.
It says here slavery. And, so, and then they changed it to, and this is going against basic human rights. I mean, that's a thing that America is blaming with everybody else. It's like, look, America puts people in prison, and now they're in prison. And instead of having basic human rights guaranteed even in prison, no, they are now slaves.
Yep.
Legally. And you're allowed to treat them, whip them, torture them, rape them, and whatever the fuck else, because they are not considered humans anymore. They are below. They are below human rights. Although the government has to guarantee you, unfortunately, when you're or not unfortunately, but luckily, I said that wrong. They can't, as soon as you're in their custody, they have to protect you from, being killed, that's their duty. They're now your guardian. Technically, they've taken away your rights, but there's still somebody, a guardian, which doesn't mean they can, just do whatever they want to with you. But again, it goes back to this, they didn't want it documented.
Exactly.
I'm scared that if we write slaves into there, they'll call us slave owners.
Yeah, because what that brings, because the history tells you that when you, for some reason, they thought that they were going to do something different. Maybe they would get it better. And but any country that builds itself up off of slave labor, I mean, that particular group always comes back and it's part of you have to incorporate it, because you can't keep that system once you become so-called civilized, and that's the issue. And they knew like the fall of Rome and all of the so-called barbarian tribes around it, and all of that, those things are history, and they knew these things. So but so that's what's going on there. And, I just wanted to put that out there. I think I'm going to play this last piece and then we'll go out because, it was a good show. I mean, I knew you would. This is something in Ethiopia because, let me see here. Actually, hold on. Yeah, I think we got that one. Yeah, the dude, they killed this dude. Now, actually, hold on.
Here, I'll send you a link in the private chat. And this is NED. It's a CIA funded organization. And anytime I hear anything going on, when you say Ethiopia, or when I hear Ukraine or Russia or Libya or something, I always go to Google. I always type in Ned and then the country, and then I search for it. And there's always something, some CIA-funded democracy, human rights thing in every single one of these regions. It's not in Germany. It's not in America. They're all located. And it's the same thing. It's just like human rights, independent media, blah, blah, blah. And then you go check these independent media, and they're the same ones telling you there's genocide, there's murder, there's gas attacks, we need to go to war, and there's a war imminent. And it's strange. It's,
conflict mitigation. That's interesting. Solidarity.
And you see how much.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
And you see how much money they're just thing. And these are all these non-governmental organizations. And this is one thing. The first thing I do is when there's any news about an American involvement, I'll go here and I'm like, okay, Peace and Development Center, Media and Communication Center, Mobile Journalism, a Center of Development. And then sometimes you'll find something because I'm in China. And sometimes you'll go down and you'll be like media in this country informing about the Communist China Party's agenda. And I'm like, what does this have to do with Ethiopia? Or what does this have to do with Nigeria? And it's strange. And this is where all that funding, that freedom of information and, all these the democracy that they're trying to say. Oh, they don't have freedom of speech. It's not a democracy. The people can't vote. They have a dictator. They have a communist government, and they're oppressing and all that stuff. And it's all the same narrative. It's all the same narrative.
Yeah, they got this thing too. I put that in the private chat too. This thing called Prosper Africa, and I was looking at that. It was a bunch of funding. You can get a $10 million loan if you do business in Africa, and it's like a francophone. I guess they're dealing with the francophone nations, but then they were dealing with some of the anglophones, and I was looking at it, and I was trying to find out about the people on the board of directors and everything. It's just really weird. It was something that Bush set up, I think, and it came from one of these people. This guy who was over there in Somalia. Well, he claimed he was in Somalia, which I don't believe. But yeah, he was really, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. Yeah, but the thing is, this kind of stuff, these people, I mean, they're all over the planet. They're trying to, create this havoc, and they're going to get it. But, it's...
Dude. You go all the way to the bottom. There's a seminar on Chinese investment in Vienna, an event on your Prosper Africa thing.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'd have to look into it a little bit more.
Oh, for real? In China, in Vienna? Yeah, I looked into some of it, but I didn't. I couldn't really.
I'm just looking through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and you never know what's going on. It's I'm very interested in Africa. I've got a lot of friends here that are from Africa, and I hope that I get to go and see a lot of places in Africa eventually, because we all have just that impression of UNICEF or USAID that shows us these poor African kids that don't have any food and don't have any drinking water, and it's kind of like, yeah, but I have buddies here that tell me it's different, so.
But then the thing, what's so funny though to me, it's not really funny, but what's interesting is that, it's like they give these incentives here for all the most innovative and some of the most smarter Africans in almost every country. They give these incentives almost, it's like a carrot and a stick for them to actually leave the countries and go to the Western countries and stay there forever almost. And then their homelands are not developed because a lot of that brain power, a lot of that talent leaves and never comes back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just that's a whole nother thing.
I mean,
And,
some of it does come back, but
not enough.
That's the thing, though. I mean, you make it too good, you know. And if these people have come to America and bring their talent, they can get paid, and they follow the rules because maybe they came from somewhere where you just had to follow the rules anyway. You know, you follow the rules, you stay out of trouble, and then you come to America and it's easy. You just follow the rules, go to work, go home, shut up, you know, and then they can earn money that way. Stay out of trouble, you know. Don't do drugs, don't drink and drive, you know. Stay home, live with your family, save money. But that's the thing. There's a lot of experience you can gather being abroad, and I have an African friend who's been in Germany for about 15 years now. And he always tells me how he wants to go back to the Congo. He's not there, but it's also hard because he's going to come from what he's learned to somewhere where there's nothing, you know, and he's going to have to put electricity down, water, you know.
Everybody's going to depend on him. He's going to remember, like, it's that's the issue. And the thing is, that's what they call that brain drain. That's what they call the brain drain. And you know,
but you can't use that brain there. You have, because you come back and then first you need to water, then you need
a lot of them
sewage, then you need.
A lot of them are engineers.
Yeah.
So they can build those systems. A lot of them know how to build.
They know how to build it.
I'll say like this: they know how to build it, but what ends up happening here is you got to manufacture the money, and then when you start taking certain land over or whatever, you got to protect the land and all this kind of.
Yeah.
And then when somebody notices you doing something to develop the place where they're, because there's people that have an interest in making sure groups are poor.
Look at Germany and Russia with their Nord Stream 2. It's the second pipeline, and it's done, and it's not running because America has a problem. Now, and this is Germany and Russia. This is not some African country, as they would say. You know, just imagine a bigger project like this happening in Africa. And it is happening in Africa. And who are we blaming? China. Oh, look, the Chinese, they're giving them drinking water. Oh no, they're giving them a subway to go through there. They're going to do trade with them. Shit, we gotta stop the invasion. It's just like, what invasion?
They gotta stop that because of what's going on.
It's a debt trap. They're still rebuilding after your war that we did, after U.S. left,
Right.
The oil companies that used to dig in the middle of Africa. Oh, no more oil spill. Oh, we're gone. Bye. So it's we've been there, we've done that, and I don't know. It's and you see how it's not benefiting you either. If we're doing all these great things in the world, why isn't it reaching American people? Why is the prosperity? Why are we offering Africa prosperity while we're sending troops to ruin other people's prosperity, while bridges are collapsing and kids are starving, and we're debating about if they should go to school anymore? It's just like, no, why should they? Send them right to the fields. Go get some chocolate and on the chocolate farm and coffee farm, and I mean, Anyway.
Yeah, I'm about to end it off, but this is pretty good. But I think this is a good enough time here. But this is just basic, news conversation, just talk and everything. Hey man, I'm glad you probably one of the best ones to come up with it up here. And
hey man,
do this shoot.
As long as it's just shit talking about politics and whatever without any serious seriousness. I mean, it's all serious and we all understand.
Well, I mean, everything is serious to some people. Like some people, it depends. It's like like you said, this kind of stuff is kind of it's you know, because we're actually this has actually been going wild on Twitter because people have been arguing about, you know, it's really the different African groups, because people have been shaming African groups for not going back and fixing up their homes, stuff like that.
Yeah, but some of these Africans are here. It's well, what was that? Eddie Griffin did a nice comment. Was it Eddie Griffin where he was complaining about where he, I think he got in a cab with a Jamaican guy, and the Jamaican guy is like turns around, he's like, "You're not an original black man," and he's just like, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, "You're not an original black man," and like the cab stops, and he's just like, boom, I'm gone, you know, fuck you.
Right.
So it's this, or like your grandma believes everything Whoopi Goldberg says, you know. It's what are you gonna do, you know? It's kind of like, I don't hate you for it, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, those
it is what it is, and in the end, just live and let live, you know.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of information to learn, and like you said, you can get information from it and use it for yourself and do what you got to do.
Yeah. But I mean, stuff with my dad too. I just don't talk. It's kind of like, yeah, he's old, you know, he's done his time, he's seen it all in different styles, you know. So you know, it's a different time now, and we're fighting a different fight.
Right.
Anyway, it was good to be here. Thanks for having me on,
man. Heck yeah, come anytime, man. I'm glad to have you in, James, man. But yeah, we're about to end it off, and appreciate you. Peace out.
Cheers.
Peace out, everybody. And we're going to end it off with this. Since we're talking about Africa, you know, the depopulation, racist joke here. This is a racist joke, so be close. This guy made this joke here.
Tell that joke, but maybe you could. And you go, have you seen my act? It's not that bad. What is it?
So yeah,
The last 15 minutes.
We'll finish that joke on Vimeo. I don't want to get a strike there.